Hello and welcome back to another coffee tasting video. I'm your host Sterling Miller. If it's your first time here, this is an espresso centric channel. We deal with the original line and the virtual line of Nespresso. If that's what you're looking for, you have found the right channel. To my returning podhead family, most of the announcements will be at the end. But without further ado, let's get into today's star attraction, Ice Forte. All right, let's take a look at what they have to say. The aromatic profile, dry cereal, woody, and peppery. That sounds pretty good. When we go up here to the top, we have a mug size, so it's 7.77 ounces, so a full cup of coffee, so to speak, and the iced recipe Vertuo. It is the Barista Creations line, so that is made to be put with milk, and we will definitely be doing that. So before we get into opening these pods and taking a look, a bunch of you last week mentioned that your favorite is the Oatly brand oat milk. I don't think anybody knew about this one. So for now, Pacific is out and Oatly's in. We're gonna use it today, and then we'll also use it on some further ones going forward. We're gonna have to give this one a try and maybe even revisit the Ice Leggero at some point and see how the Oatly plays into that one. Again, excited to try it. The other oat milk that we had last week, not so much, not a huge fan, but I'm excited to try Oatly because everybody seems to like it. All right, so back on to the pods. Let's take a look at these guys. Nice, nice, excellent. So there's your pod. It's a lot like last week's. You have the darker blue, lighter blue, and then an even lighter blue up over the top. And then the Ice Forte on the bottom. Dry cereal, woody, and peppery. Ice Forte. Let's go brew a cup. Ice Forte, what we're gonna do for round one is just, again, brew it as a cup of coffee and see what it actually tastes like. Then we'll go and move into the ice and milk. So let's get this guy going. It's done brewing. Smelled pretty good. That is an insane crema layer. They don't really give us a level on these, but just judging from the looks of it, I would say it's around a 6 leaning into a 7 for darkness or intensity. Almost like a, yeah, maybe like woody sweet smell. Wow. Oh, this is gonna be good. Let's go give it a taste. All right, we're looking for dry cereal, woody and peppery notes. Let's give this a taste. That is, man, that is just really good all by itself. Got a little bit of a, yeah, little bit of a, ooh, that aftertaste. I would say the peppery notes are definitely kind of an aftertaste, a kind of a linger, because it's kind of weird. It feels like the pepper is hanging around on the front of my tongue. I don't know if I taste the cereal notes, but there's something a little bit sweet. So it's like a sweet woody, and then kind of as that woody sweet leaves, you get that wonderful little pepper. This would be good, honestly, just as a regular cup of coffee. As far as an iced coffee, it's gonna be interesting to see how the ice portion of it plays out, but this is delicious hot. It's supposed to be made as an iced coffee, so let's just go round 2. We're gonna go do an iced version of this. I'll be right back. This is our standard 20-ounce cup. I filled it up to about right there with ice, brewed the capsule in it, gave it a good stir, so let's give this a taste. Wow. The woody is not as present as it was with the hot coffee. It's more peppery now. There's another flavor in there. Hang on a minute, let me just. There's almost a little bit of a, and maybe it is the woody, but it has a little bit of a tart flavor to it, almost like what was sweet has now kind of gone tart, which is interesting. Yeah, it's almost like the little bit of woody now is just there, but it's really, really subtle. This being at like level 8 for the woody flavor coming through, this being at like level 3. But now where this was peppery aftertaste, it's very, very upfront. So that peppery flavor has really stepped up front. Not bad, not bad. It's a little bit, I think it's gonna play better with a little bit of milk and some other flavors in there. So I think we'll definitely head down that line, because I think this is gonna be, just as a straight iced coffee, it's got just a little bit of bite to it. If we look at their normal bitter scale, I think it's gonna be somewhere up around 4. It's got a decent amount of hit on the front of your tongue. This is gonna play out well once we start adding milk and that kind of stuff too. So let's get ready to go. Let's do round 3. Yeah, let's go brew these up, add some milk and some flavors to them. Let's go round 3. Let's go brew another cup. I'm glad I labeled these. The regular milk and the oat milk look very, very similar this time. And last week you could tell it was oat milk. It was pretty brown. This is gonna be interesting. Let's get these pods going. Oh, that is so cool looking. I love it. It's so full. I'm gonna set this one over and get the next pod going. This performs almost identical so far like milk. It hasn't separated, it hasn't done anything. Let's go give these a taste. I actually have to look at the names because they look so identical, you can't tell. Let's give the milk one a taste first. That's tempered off a little bit of that pepper. So we've done these the same. The 4 ounces of milk I think is pretty close. That's 118 milliliters. I think that's pretty close for this. Let's give the oat milk a taste now. I don't think I can tell a difference. These two are insanely close. I mean, so close that if I was going to nitpick, like if I didn't know one was one and one was the other, you would never know. Oat milk? Yeah. It's a valid substitute, at least the Oatly brand. This is not an endorsement. I'm not paid by them. I went and bought it at the store Natural Grocers here in Arizona. This one, if I had to nitpick, and it's only because I know it's oat milk, there's just the ever so slight little bit of dust on your tongue. But if you didn't know, you would not catch it. And it is, these are close. What I told you here applies right here. There's no difference. I'm gonna add a little bit of sweetener to these two and see how they play out, see if that changes anything with them. Somebody asked in last week's video which syrups I use. I use the Da Vinci brand, no particular reason, I just happen to like them best. This one is the sugar-free sweetener, and the sweetener being kind of like a simple syrup. That's basically what it is. So we're gonna give these two guys, again, ice drinks I think need just a little more sweetener. Let's go 2 pumps in each. So I've added 2 pumps of the sweetener to it. If you don't have a pump, just measure out 1 tablespoon. That would be the equivalent of 2 pumps. Let's give these a taste. Oh, that's so good. That's just wonderful. Okay, I can actually taste a difference. That's interesting. So when we add sweetener, and the same thing happened last week. Let's see if I can replicate this just a little bit. Boy, they're close. When you add a couple of pumps of syrup to the drink, the oat milk seems to, for whatever reason, get a little bit more of a syrupy taste. Whereas this just tends to get, again, a more of an overall sweeter taste. This tends to get a little bit more of like a syrup taste. Last week's did it and this week's did it, although not to the extent of last week. So it's interesting. Now that is a subtle difference. Again, I don't know that I would care, but it is a subtle difference between just using regular milk and the oat milk. But man, Podhead family, you guys hit it out of the park. The Oatly milk is substantially better than that Pacific stuff that I bought last week. The Oatly milk, like I said early on, if you didn't know, you wouldn't know. It is a genuine milk substitute. Great flavor, great texture, great everything. So let's proceed on. I'm actually gonna go not with milk, I'm gonna go with the oat milk. We're gonna go and brew up one more pod, so let's go brew another cup. All right, we have all of our stuff here ready to go. We're gonna use 3 ounces of oat milk, 89 milliliters. Gonna put that into the Aracino 4. Then we're gonna add, let's start with the chocolate first. We're gonna add 1 full tablespoon, 2 full tablespoons. Now we're gonna add some caramel sauce, 1 tablespoon of that. All right, we added the 1 tablespoon of caramel, 2 tablespoons of the chocolate sauce. We're gonna put it on cold, and all we really wanna do is get this blended together. Oh yeah, so come on over and take a look at this. We have basically a chocolate milk here going in our frother. That's blended enough. I don't really want to froth it all the way. I just want to get these blended really well. I'm going to add that into our cup here. Now we're going to go over and brew our capsule. We got a nice iced coffee of a chocolate milkshake. Let's give it a taste. You are gonna love this.
I want it. It's all mine.
My wife's behind the camera going, me, I'm gonna love it. That is outstanding. Oh my goodness. Oh man. That little bit of creaminess that we've brought out of the oat milk, it's so good. It's sweet, and you're gonna just love it for summertime when it's hot and an iced drink. This is gonna be absolutely delicious. Wow. You would never, ever, ever know this is oat milk. Let's take a look at what they're doing. All right, so we have Barista Creations, Ice Forte, $1.10 a pod, so there's really no upcharge. We always have the most weight on what they intend to use this for. As an iced coffee, it was outstanding with the milk and oat all the way around. This one's a winner. Even hot. As just the regular iced coffee, I would go 4 out of 5 pods. But because we're gonna add milk, and it is a Barista Creations line, we're assuming milk is being added to it. That just kicks it up that extra notch. We got a 5 out of 5 pods rating. This one is outstanding. Go out and get it. And if you aren't a milk drinker, by all means, again, this is not a personal endorsement in any way of the company or the brand, but the Oatly milk, if you want a substitute that yourself, you can't tell, and or guests, the Oatly brand oat milk, outstanding. Thank you, Podhead family, for all of your comments on this. It was truly a great recommendation. Thank you. That'll bring us to a close of another video. If you've made it this far, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so that you're alerted anytime we drop a new video, which is every Friday. To all my wonderful patrons that are scrolling on beside us, I say this every single week and I mean it. Thank you, thank you. Without your support, the channel would not have grown the way it is. And in the next few weeks, you guys have afforded us the ability to move out of the current software suite that we're using, shifting over to a brand new piece of software, brand new technology for us, and we're going to be converting over to delivering these videos in 4K content or 4K quality. I can't say thank you enough. You guys made it happen. If you would like to join us over at patreon.com/IPON70. It's the same as the YouTube channel, and you can support us for as little as $1 a month. And don't forget, coming in the next few weeks will be again the Patreon drawing. And never forget, we always have a hidden word in any video, any week, anytime. There can be a hidden word and you win a $30 gift card. If you haven't checked out our website, join us over at NespressoReview.com. We have our previous media, contest winners, the Patreon section is over there, and just various and sundry things. You can also see Podhead. He hangs out over there for days on end. But until next week, have a great rest of your day.